Well, you know, social media makes up a huge part of how preteens and teenagers interact with one another. A recent study found Instagram is tops with teens, beating out other popular social media sites like Twitter and Facebook. But Instagram has evolved far beyond a photo sharing site, and some kids are using it in harmful ways.
Jamie, bullying has moved from school hallways and playgrounds to the internet. I talked to a group of preteens at the Baltimore JCC who shared what parents need to know about Instagram, hashtags, and the hidden ways kids are bullying one another online. It's pretty hard to find a tween or teen who doesn't have a phone in hand. Many of them are scrolling through Instagram. A recent study found 76% of teens use Instagram. That's compared to 59% on Twitter and 45% on Facebook.
They're not as good as Instagram. Instagram is just better. Just you get to see the pictures, comments, different things.
I like seeing other people's adventures as they take pictures and post them to other people.
How do kids use Instagram? It's all about posting photos, in many cases selfies, and hashtags, which are just another way to express oneself and track shared interests.
Hashtag selfies, hashtag like throwback something, hashtag YOLO, hashtag swag.
One hashtag you'll see often, TBH, which stands for to be honest. 11-year-old Adarius breaks it down for us.
Some people aren't real and they say false things, and like people say to be real or to be honest, and when they're supposed to be telling the truth.
Another one to look out for, RDH, or rate, date, hate. It goes like this. A person posts a photo with the hashtag RDH. When people like the post, they're essentially asking the person to rate them and post whether they hate them or would date them. This is when Instagram could cross over into some serious territory.
I think people get too excited for likes or followers because I feel like they want to get a sense of popularity.
Child psychologist Dr. Sheridan Phillips at the University of Maryland School of Medicine says 12-year-old Michaela is right on the money.
They're saying, okay, what do you think of me? Am I dressing correctly, or how pretty am I compared with other people? And it's sort of like a social validation. It isn't always the feedback they're hoping for. And so that can be very hurtful.
Every child in our focus group at the Baltimore Jewish Community Center says they either know someone who has been cyberbullied through social media or have been cyberbullied themselves.
Sometimes people create fake accounts and say mean things up to people on their pictures.
Someone made me an account before I had an Instagram because they got mad at me, and it said as like negative things about me.
Dr. Phillips says the key to helping kids handle it all in a healthy way is to make sure they know that what people post online isn't always the truth.
Keep a close eye on what's happening and try to be a moderating influence and attempt to explain to kids what some of this is based on and that they can't necessarily believe it all or take it as gospel.
A message these kids seem to have down.
I think that too many people are on social media and not really paying attention to their lives.
For both children and adults, bullying affects everybody, and I think it should be stopped, especially on social media, where it makes the situation worse.
Dr. Phillips says parents of preteens have to be especially vigilant about monitoring their social media activity. Developmentally, earlier adolescence is a very vulnerable period in a person's life, and the importance of peers and conformity to peers reaches its peak. Now, this tends to become a lot less important as kids get older and go through their teen years.
Well, those kids you interviewed were sharp, man.
Very candid.
All right, now, whether it's online or whether it's in person, we should see signs for parents that our child is being bullied. What are they?
Right, Jamie, there are things that you would probably suspect. A reluctance to go to school, sadness and crying spells, a reluctance to go to parties or friends' houses, and any significant change in your child's behavior. And another thing Dr. Phillips says is that you should always have the passwords to your child's social media accounts, especially at this preteen age and younger.
And I can't believe I'm asking, instead of the cafeteria, what happens if you're bullied on Instagram? What do you do then?
Yeah, there's definitely lots of recourses that you can go to on Instagram. You can report the user doing the bullying to Instagram and also flag any inappropriate comments, photos, or videos. You can also block the person from seeing and commenting on any of your posts. And the kids I spoke to say they have had to do some of these things and they've gotten results.
All right, Trang, thank you very much.